Okay, good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order the town council meeting for November 5th. Lee, could you please take the roll?
Councilmember Fredericks.
Here.
Councilmember Nick Farr.
Present.
Councilmember Ryan.
Here.
Vice Mayor Wellner is absent and Mayor Thier.
Here. I would like to take a public comment on the consent calendar.
Want to do public comment first on things not on the agenda?
Yes, public comment on anything not on the agenda. Thank you. Anybody online?
Seeing none online.
Okay, now I will take public comment on the consent calendar. Is there any public comment on the consent calendar?
Hello, how's it going? Thanks for having us tonight. Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Diana Garcia, and I was one of the students who presented about the amendment to Chapter 28 in Tiburon, and I'm here again tonight to express my strong support for a ban on the sale of tobacco and nicotine products in our town. I want to thank the council for giving Rhett and I the opportunity to present at the last meeting, and I really appreciate how open and responsive you guys have been to our concerns, and I'm grateful that you're taking action on an issue that continues to affect my peers. I urge you to keep supporting this amendment to protect the health and future of our youth, and you have a chance to set an example for communities to follow. Thank you so much for your time and commitment to making Tiburon a healthier place for everyone.
Thank you so much. Is there any more public comments? Please come on up.
Hello. Hello, Mayor and Council members. My name is Isaac Cervera, and I am a high school student here in Marin County. I'm here today to thank you for adopting the amendments to Chapter 28 of the Tiburon Code to ban sale of tobacco products. Nicotine has become extremely common among students at my school and many others. It's something we encounter every day, even if we're not the ones using it. I believe it's important that we continue raising awareness and taking action to stop this growing problem. By adopting this policy, you are leading the way in showing teens like me that we can stand up to an industry that has targeted youth for decades. Thank you for listening and caring about the health and future of young people in our community.
Do we have more public comments? Would anyone else like to speak? Do we have public comment online?
Seeing none.
Seeing none. Okay. Is there anyone from the council that would like to pull anything from the consent calendar? Then I will move that we adopt the consent calendar.
Second.
Lee, would you like to call the roll?
Councilmember Fredericks.
Yes.
Councilmember Nick Farr.
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wellner is absent and Mayor Thier. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So it passed.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for bringing this to us and working so hard at getting this across the line. So commend all of you. I know young people, you have a lot of other things going on. So thank you for focusing on this important project.
And just to add a little government education, please forgive me, keep smiling. But this is not a policy, it's actually a law, an ordinance.
I just want to say thank you so much. You know, tonight we all made history here tonight, my colleagues and all of you. Tiburon is the first in the nation to pass a ban on tobacco and tobacco related products with no exemptions. So I want to thank you for choosing public health. I want to thank you for helping us stop teen addiction and also improve our environment by not having the cigarette butts, which are plastic, littered and going into the streams and waterways, of which we are very close. And we saw today with sea level rise, a lot of our areas were underwater. And I want to thank you, the youth, for speaking out and for bringing this to us. It's really an important issue. And what you've done here tonight is something that will not just affect you, but it will affect all future generations. So I want to thank you. I want to thank all of the different people that showed up. And I'm not going to mention, or else I'll leave everybody out. So thank you very much. Okay, we are moving on now to action item A11, sea level rise, vulnerability assessment and adaptation plan. And this is very timely because much of the peninsula was underwater today.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm very excited to present on this project this evening. So, talking about the Town of Tiburon Sea Level Rise Vulnerability Assessment and Adaptation Plan. So, just some background. On December of 2024, BCDC released their RSAP guidelines, so their Regional Shoreline Adaptation Plan guidelines, which requires all bayfronting communities within the BCDC jurisdiction to complete and develop a subregional plan by 2034. So we are ahead of the curve. And in August earlier this year, the council adopted Resolution 2425, approving the application for an acceptance of a $593,877 grant from the Ocean Protection Council to develop a vulnerability assessment and adaptation plan specific to the town of Tiburon. As you know, we've had a lot of vulnerability assessments and sea level rise studies done in Marin County. However, none are specific to the vulnerabilities to the communities and assets of the town. So this will be a first-time effort really diving into our specific concerns. And then on August 14th of 2025, the town released an RFP to select a consultant team to develop this planning project. So the scope of work for this project is very heavily based in the BCDC RSAP guidelines. I apologize, that picture is really terrible quality on the screen. But essentially there's these multiple elements, A through G, that we are required to complete, along with some other minimum standards, most notably this equity assessment standard and adaptation strategy standard. So those are specific to community engagement, developing an equitable plan, and also making sure that we are being concise and thorough in how we develop our strategies for recommendation for implementation. Again, this is a planning effort only, so this would all be scoped into potential future construction designs. And so the project is laid out into 5 tasks. So task 1 being general project management, mostly communications with BCDC, OPC, and our regional partners throughout the 24-month term project. Task 2 is going to be our prior analysis review. So since we have already a plethora of existing studies in Marin, there's not a whole lot of need for us to go in and dive deeper and conduct a bunch of new studies. So we're going to have our consultant team look into these existing studies a bit more and condense that information. Task 3 is developing the vulnerability assessment. Task 4, adaptation plan, and then task 5 is going to be 10% design of our selected strategies. Our projected focus areas, this is also again to be finalized during project kickoff, but these are areas that I think everyone knows are areas that experience flooding regularly or at high risk for sea level rise, specifically looking at like our downtown areas, Blackie's Pasture and the Cove. These are areas that we really want to focus on in this planning process and think about how we can support not only just prevention of flooding and protection of our assets, but also community members. How do we support them? How do we support our businesses, especially in the downtown area when we talk about flooding and sea level rise? And what does that look like? What does a long-term plan for Tiburon look like in prevention of sea level rise flooding, whether that be from the bay or from groundwater? So this is our team strategy for the project. So the town is going to lead the project with Moffitt and Nickel as our selected prime consultant, and their subcontractors. So O'Rourke and Associates, that name may sound familiar. Christine O'Rourke is the one who developed our climate action plan, among other things in our general plan. So she is going to be the community engagement lead. We have CMG Landscape Architecture, who's going to be the resilience planning technical assistance lead, and then BKF, the stormwater and drainage technical assistance lead. So the staff recommendation tonight is pretty straightforward. It's to authorize the town manager to execute a contract for the grant amount with Moffitt and Nichols, who is our selected consultant, and to approve the fiscal year 26 budget amendment for the recognition of the $200,000 OPC grant funding. So that's how much we expect to used during this project period for this fiscal year. We do have, I believe, our project manager from Moffitt and Nichols on Zoom, Eunice. I will give him a chance to introduce himself before we open it up for Q&A.
Actually, I did want to say one thing. I do have a potential conflict of interest, so I am going to leave the room. I would like to ask if, I think Isaac's actually the one next to lead the meeting, if you don't
Oh,
mind.
boy.
And Mayor, if you may, you need to state what the conflict is before you take leave.
It's a potential business conflict.
Alrighty.
All right. Do we have any questions from the council before?
Well, I would love if Eunice, our project manager, could introduce himself before we open up for questions, just so if there's questions for him to answer. as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably fine.
Yeah, good evening, council members. Thank you for having me. My name is Yunus Nuri, coastal engineer and a project manager with Muffin and Nicole, a California-based company. We specialize in waterfront engineering and addressing sea level rise and doing climate vulnerability and adaptation studies. We're excited to work with you all and advance this beyond just a study that's going to get sit on a shelf and get dust. So looking forward to it. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Eunice.
All right. Thank you for that. Any questions from the council?
Just a request, that's a great presentation. Would you share those slides with us? There are information
Yes,
on it, like the timeline,
of
that
course,
some of us could use as we work with the county. Yeah.
of course.
I would like to thank you, Grace, for the very thorough presentation. I don't think we have I don't have any other questions prior. It seems pretty straightforward. Is there a motion? Oh, wait, that's right, public comment. Any public comment on this first?
Seeing none.
All right. Well, in that case, is there a motion?
I would like to make a motion to approve the staff recommendations.
And I'll second that.
All right.
Would you like a roll call?
Yes.
Councilmember Fredericks.
Yes.
Councilmember Nick Farr.
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wellner is absent and Mayor Thier is absent. Thank you.
Thank
Right.
you.
Motion passes. With that, are there any town council reports? Is there a town manager report?
No, future Vice Mayor.
Okay, then I will, I guess, adjourn us to closed session.
Yeah, first,
Oh, public comment before closed session. Is there any public comment?
Seeing none.
Okay, none online? Is it, and how many people do we have online?
Right now, we have no members of the public
Okay,
online.
thank you. Then I will adjourn us for closed session.
Good job, Isaac.
But they use that one.
Okay, we have just finished closed session. There is reportable action. I would like our town attorney to report the action.
Thank you, Mayor. At tonight's closed session, the council voted 4-0 to approve a settlement agreement to be signed by Pauline Temperini, our Human Resources Director, with the Point Tiburon Marsh Condominium Association regarding the purchase and disposition of units located within the HOA as further described in the settlement agreement, which will be public once signed by the town. And that concludes my report.
Thank you so much. And now I believe we are ready to adjourn the meeting. We are adjourned.